Welcome to Henshaws Knowledge Village. My name's Mark Belcher and I'm the Community Services Manager. And today I've got the fantastic Alice with me who's going to take us on a journey. But before that, let me ask you, are you subscribed? If not, why not? And also, if you can click that like button, it will tell me that you found this video useful. And somewhere in there, there's like a little bell. The bell will give you an indication the next time I do a video, keeping you up to date. So let's get on with this video about the history of Alice and Braille.
Henshaws Knowledge Village. This video is free to watch thanks to the kindness of our donors. If you would like to donate £10 towards our work, you can do so by texting Henshaws to 70085.
So as promised, a little journey of Braille. So I've got the fantastic Alice with me, who's just going to give you a little bit of understanding of who she is and how she's going to help us today.
So I'm Alice. I work at Henshaws with Mark and I'm part of the marketing team, working as the Digital Communications Officer. But not only that, I'm also totally blind and have been since birth. And as a result, I've been reading and writing Braille since the age of 3.
So Alice, Alice is an expert in Braille. I'm going to call, you know you don't like being called an expert, but she is. And she's also a bit of a geek like me with regards to technology. So over these years, she's been using a massive machine over here, which is a Perkins Brailler. So it's a piece of fantastic engineering that came out in the 1940s. All the way through to a product that just come out called the Hable or the Hable. What do you call it, Alice?
Hable One.
Right, we're going to call it Hable One. It's the official title.
Yeah.
So Alice is just going to take us on this little journey. So first, Alice, right in front of you is the bad boy, the big thing, the Perkins Brailler. Can you tell us a little bit about your kind of the history with that and how you learnt Braille and how was that?
So the Perkins Brailler is what I started out with when it came to my Braille learning and accessing journey. I used this all the way through education, especially for subjects like maths and languages, when it wasn't as efficient to type on a laptop. Because for subjects I could type on a laptop, I would, but because of the specialist codes, it made more sense to do subjects like maths on a Perkins Brailler.
So do you use Perkins ever anymore?
No. If I'm being completely honest, I've got to a stage where because I haven't used it for so long, I'm a little bit rusty on it.
Okay.
I can do it, but I have to think about it.
Right.
And even to the point that the Perkins Brailler I had that was functional, I long-term lent to somebody.
All right. And you didn't get it back?
I don't need it back.
Yeah. It's like borrowing a book.
Yeah.
Right, so you moved on to different technology then, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just push Perkins out of the way. I'm going to introduce to the Humanware product that you've done a video on before with us, haven't you?
Yeah.
So again, in the link below, if you want to know a little bit more about how Alice uses this note taker, then tune into that. But give us a bit of a brief understanding of how this works.
So I started using this in 2011. So actually, I did go through a stage where I was using both this and the Perkins, but this in effect revolutionised my independence, because what you do is you can connect this to a device, so it could be a computer, a laptop, an iPhone, an iPad, even the Apple Watch supports this now.
Oh, wow.
And you can essentially read what's on the screen and access your device using Braille.
Yeah.
So when it comes to revolutionising my independence, it meant that I wasn't listening to stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Because you need the screen reader to operate the display and for it to do its job. Yeah. But you don't have to be constantly listening.
I had a really interesting conversation about the use of Braille, right? And somebody said, well, why don't you just use audio books? But the thing is with Braille, you're reading using your mind's voice, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I am totally in favour of audiobooks, because I've even got sighted friends who favour audiobooks over reading. Yeah. But I just find that if you're listening to stuff, say you're in an office and you're like proofreading a document, well, first of all, you can't proofread properly by listening. Yeah. Because voiceover, or depending on what your punctuation settings are, you don't want it to pick up every single comma. So sometimes you miss things. Yeah. But also, you miss out on key conversations with colleagues.
Yeah.
And it just makes it more inefficient to note take.
Yeah.
But that's another cool thing about these. I mean, this particular model isn't like that, but some of these devices can be standalone note takers.
Right.
So you're typing the Braille directly onto the device. Like, you don't need a computer or a laptop or whatever to control it.
Okay. So you're going to get one of them one day?
I've already got one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I've got the basic note taker, but I've also now got a fully functioning one which even connects to the internet.
Oh, I think we've got another video brewing there, haven't we?
Yeah, it was actually a really good deal that Sight and Sound did recently, where you could trade in a Braille display. If you had an unused Braille display, you can trade it in for what's called the Braille Sense 6, which is a brand new Braille note taker that was released recently. So I took advantage of that deal.
Ah, well, that's another video for us, Alice.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to move on from your Humanware now, and we're going to go to your iPhone. Those that know us know we like iPhones. And inside the accessibility of the iPhone is something called Rotor. And Alice is going to tell us a little about the Rotor and how she now uses Braille. So, Alice, the phone's right in front of you now, mate. Just have a chat and tell us what you're going to introduce us to.
Yeah, so just to quickly go back to the Rotor, that's a feature of VoiceOver, and it lets you navigate your phone in various different ways, including things like navigating by character, navigating text by word, things like that. But there's also a feature of that when you enable this through the Rotor called Braille Screen Input, and that essentially enables you to input text into your phone using Braille. So it's not an output feature, you don't read Braille using this feature at all. It's purely for text input.
And it introduces on the screen, so on the touch screen, it introduces 6 buttons, a bit like the Perkins. The Perkins essentially got 6 levers, a little bit like that, but it's on the iPhone. And it's a joy to watch Alice kind of manipulate it. So how's that been, like your journey?
So good. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, when I first started using it, it was quite a thing to get my head around, because I had an iPhone 8 and I've only changed to the iPhone 12 recently. And with the iPhone 8, I just couldn't do it very well.
Was that the size of the screen?
I don't really know. I think it was just me getting to grips with it. Right. But then I got my iPhone 12 and it just seemed a lot easier.
Just clicked.
For me, it's changed everything, because I still use things like a Bluetooth keyboard, but I don't need to anymore, because Braille Screen Input it's the first time I've been able to type fast directly just using the phone, because I find the traditional method of like looking for the letter on the standard on the screen keyboard really slow and not as efficient.
Oh, wow.
Whereas Braille Screen Input has kind of completely eradicated that, because I'm now typing on the phone at a reasonably fast pace.
So would you say you type faster in Braille than you do keyboard?
Probably not compared to QWERTY,
right?
But definitely compared to the standard iPhone on-screen keyboard.
Okay. What about the Humanware inputter? Which
well, the Humanware, that's
similar.
That's bigger as well.
Yeah.
So it hasn't got the portability.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do that as well, but you're not going to want to carry a massive Braille display that's really expensive around when you're out and about. Or
No, I get that. Yeah. So the portability, and it's there right in your phone.
Yeah.
Who knew? So
yeah, it's one of those things that it's like the hidden. I call it one of the hidden features of VoiceOver that isn't promoted as much as it perhaps should be. But obviously, it isn't much use if you don't know Braille.
Yeah.
You could learn Braille, or it could be a way to learn it, but because it's touchscreen, it's kind of one of those things I personally am glad I know Braille fluently to use.
So a kid in school now,
yeah,
right, getting introduced to the iPhone or even the Hable.
Yeah.
Where you know in your journey, where would you go?
Well,
would you go?
You need to start off being able to read it.
Yeah.
So things like the Brailliant or Perkins and typing on paper.
Yeah.
Would get you used to the shape of what the different cells look like.
Yeah, yeah.
So the great thing about a Braille display is you can sort of do it. So you could connect it to your iPad and read the things you're interested in using Braille. It's not forced or artificial stuff.
Yeah.
You could literally go on YouTube and read a description of your favourite video, and that's you learning Braille that way.
Right, so we're going to talk about a new piece of kit, and it is a new piece of kit that is similar to what Alice has just explained. It's called the Hable One. And And I'm not an expert at it because I don't do Braille, but Alice does. It's got basically tactile buttons, which is different than the screen reader. But I'm going to hand this over to Alice and she's going to tell us how she got on with it and why it's such a kind of hot topic at the moment. Just there, Alice.
Yeah, so obviously the Braille Screen Input does rely on touchscreen, and all iPhone, if you're doing anything on your phone directly, it's all touchscreen apart from controlling the volume and a couple of other things. And obviously touchscreen might not be for everyone, but they might still want to get something out of their phone, like the features of it.
Yeah.
So the Hable One addresses that gap whilst also giving you the option to type in Braille, because the Hable One is a portable Braille keyboard, and it's not just for iPhones, there is Android mode too.
Right.
Just want to point that out because
Yeah.
we don't give Android enough credit. And the Hable have done a really good job of addressing being able to work with both.
So how did you find it?
I enjoyed using it. It was good to have a go with. What I liked about it was, yes, you can type with it, but you can also control your phone.
Yeah.
And I was reading through the Hable One manual, and it is so detailed. Like, it's so easy to navigate. It's so easy to see what you can do with the Hable One, because you can literally do everything.
Yeah.
So not only you can type, but there's also keystrokes and shortcuts to enable you to, say, access your home screen or navigate through the items in your home screen or anything.
Did you find, I found the user guide really easy to read?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. And
because normally it's not, is it? It's like, normally you just don't bother and you just work through the process.
But I think I found with the Hable, because I'm not used to like using Braille primarily with an iPhone and using the shortcuts, I found it good to know how to do the different things.
Yeah. And a lot of people like that tactile feature, which is what a lot of people are saying to me, and you've said it too. It's quite an interesting subject. And,
yeah.
And you also said that you don't need your phone around really, because it's connected to Bluetooth, so you could still type in and have your phone in your coat or in your bag.
Yeah. So if you had obviously you probably need headphones for this to hear voiceover.
Yeah.
But it means you could have your phone in your pocket. You could be on your Hable. You can navigate everything on your phone with the Hable. You don't even need to get your phone out to access anything.
Yeah.
And you could just type and do things without people even seeing your phone.
Fantastic. Do you get any kind of haptic feedback at all?
Yeah, so when you turn it on, it gives you 2 vibrations to say it's switched on.
Okay.
And then you get another vibration to say it's paired.
Right.
And then when you're doing certain key commands, it will vibrate as well as activating the action on the phone.
And it'll tell you when you're using capitals and stuff like that when you're typing in?
So when you do .6, which is the capital indicator, it will vibrate to say it's gone into capital mode.
So it's a nice piece of kit.
Yeah, but my ultimate conclusion to this is, I know I've gone on this journey, but everyone's Braille journey will be different. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's all about choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you will have some people who will still prefer the Perkins Brailler, depending on what their lifestyle is, or their tech know-how.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to know more about the Hable One, it's sold by Sight and Sound, but you can also go to Hable's official website, which we will put in the description. It is just iamhable.com. And from there you can download the user guide, you can read testimonials, and there's quite a lot of useful resources on there to help you get to grips with it. And
we've got a demo here at Henshaws, so if you're in the Greater Manchester area and you fancy a play, then we're here to help. So, as always, Alice, thank you for your knowledge and thanks for a fantastic insight to how you've been using Braille over the years. So that's a goodbye from me, so goodbye, and it's a goodbye from Alice.
Goodbye.
Our videos are helping people around the world to go beyond expectations. If you enjoyed this video, please donate to us using the links in the description below, or the text donation number 70085 to give £10 instantly. Thank you. For costs and terms, please see the description below.